Also, I would like to say who our current streamers are. Commentators are. It is Hupinator and Midnight Moonlight. And now we are starting. We see Sparkover with the Mario and AliGerBrap with the Ghost. And I didn't see the items. One curse bell.
And gold and the key.
So there was a decent amount of gold, a key, and a curse bell. Just make sure. Oh no, starting in the swamp. This is not going to be a fun one. So, which Pac-Man ghost do you think AliGerBrap is? Ooh, AliGerBrap getting a Metal Scorpion kill almost immediately. That is going to be very helpful, especially with that strength gain. It looks like it's 2 levels. Wow. Yikes.
Oh, wow, okay.
Thank you, Nick. We are seeing Clyde on AliGerBrap's screen. It's kind of hard to really know which one is which. So, ooh, AliGerBrap getting another probably easy kill. Oh, never mind.
Even with that massive strength boost, punching the Metal Scorpion probably not going to be the good strat there.
Unfortunately not. That means a whole bunch of gold is now lost. Not that it's going to matter all that much. And Sparkover is going to try to grind in the swamp. Question mark.
He did just find a ghost there, so maybe he's trying to think the easier minions or enemies are there.
So in this case, Sparkover is a lady, and just a small, polite, reminder.
Over on AliGerBrap, 310-2, and I missed that last one on his level.
I'll be listed as well because I was looking at other things. Ooh, skeleton, that's a good kill. Sparkover getting the Drakey. Oh, Demon Knight. That is one thing you cannot hurt easily with the hurt spell. And yes, I'm well aware of the irony of that sentence.
Looks like on his most recent level, AliGerBrap also picked up the heal spell, so we have our first ability to heal.
Heal was found at level 3, just as a reminder. So we did see him use it once before he got to 4. Stop spell, however, that can be useful if Foxness happens to be an easy place to find, but it doesn't look like it. Ooh, slime in the desert.
And AliGerBrap getting introduced to the first AK-47 scene over there.
With a bunch of fire coming out of its helmet. Looks like AliGerBrap is going to keep searching the northeast. I'm currently curious as to why he didn't try southwest. Ooh, Magidrakey. One of the best enemies to kill early on, because they usually die in a hurt spell if you have it, or you torch if you find one.
AliGerBrap 7, 11, 1, and 10. No spell on that level.
That is still a good amount of agility, strength, and magic. gained. Whew. Yeah, it does look like AliGerBrap is getting a major head start. But we've seen this before, where they get a head start and things change.
Absolutely. It's not just the enemies you kill and the experience you gain, but also the exploration knowledge. Seen it way too many times.
Way too many times. Especially here. When you're trying to dive a cave, you never know when you're not going to be able to go down further, and goodness gracious, great balls of fire, that's a lot of strength. He probably can't win this fight. And just like that, Sparkover catches up. I don't know what she killed, but good gravy, was that a lot of experience. Thank you guys. I'm not paying as much attention to both screens as I possibly could. It looks like AliGerBrap is going right back into the cave. It looks like it is Mountain Cave.
Yeah, and with 2 casts of Hurtmore now and some hit points, he might be able to take out that AK-47.
Yeah, he can now. If he gets lucky. That is not luck. That is not luck, even in the slightest. And now Sparkover has found a cave, and she's probably going to end up finding the same thing. Except that she doesn't.
Absolutely. Simple Sarah looking over there in the chat, that Axe Knight has what's considered DL1 breath, not nearly as the DL2 breath on some enemies or the Dragon Lord itself.
I don't think she's misread, but she's definitely now noticing that there is a very dangerous enemy here. So AliGerBrap is coming in with a decent amount of MP, a decent amount of strength. They're both trying to do this in the dark. Oh, wow, she did misread it too. Wow.
However, did achieve level 7 on that kill. The power bonus is gone, but still a nice bit of agility on that one.
Agility goes a long way, especially that much this early. This is certainly turning out to be an interesting seed. Already, both players are level 7 within the first 10 minutes of the game. That's pretty good. Hopefully, they can find a town somewhere, and hopefully not die again. They're both really trying to run through the cave. I'm not 100% sure if this is the best move, especially with AliGerBrap so low on MP. But it does look like we're finding slimes now, which means the second floor is not that bad.
I do think Sparkover found a wizard, was able to run away with all that agility, but I do not know if she took the stairs before or after she found them. Ooh, that key will help, though.
And AliGerBrap, I think, got lost. That's not good. And the wizard decides to back attack Sparkover, and hopefully... And AliGerBrap did manage to find his way back to the path. Sparkover decided that the torch was actually a required thing to take because she got lost. Not a bad decision, honestly. Not a bad decision. Yes, both players are in the same dungeon. They're doing the same exact progression. Sparkover gets sent back home. She did not get to see the last chest.
I was about to mention it, Shoobs, but Sparkover is beating me to it. I'm definitely, if I am that player or that runner, open that door and buy some keys with all that free money you just found.
I would agree. But she also has the option to find out what's in the treasury. We'll see if she decides to do that now. I would also completely and utterly agree with this decision here. What's in this cave? We don't know that yet, Jazol. Yep, it is cave. Sorry, the grave. They have to go up one. They have to go up and down one to be able to find out. If it's only down or only up, then it's the swamp cave. Were you aware of that? Both players are now searching the swamp cave. Or, I'm sorry, the grave.
And Sparkover finding the fire's wing, immediately equipping it. Don't know how many times I've seen those items get found and just not get equipped to provide those bonus stats.
Yeah, I often get surprised. Oh, really? She left the dungeon? She left Antagel there? I'm shocked. Okay. I guess the chests are easy enough to get to. I wouldn't grind yet there, AliGerBrap. But who knows? Maybe this is a good decision and he finds a town soon. Hey, he does have enough stats to be able to run from just about everything. So who knows? He might find a town.
Absolutely. I think it would be funny if we could see 4 or 5 of them from one view of the map. That would be interesting.
It would be, and that would probably be one of the greatest terrors known to man. I searched the entire map, and all I found were these 4 towns in the middle of a corner of the map. That is as far as possible you can get from Tantagel. And even there's not even a silver shield in them. Is he? He's going further down. Interesting. AliGerBrap doing the first route change here. He is going to search the bottom of the grave, despite the fact he just gold grind. Weird.
Perhaps he was grinding enough knowing that by death was possible?
Who knows? However, it does look like he just found the armor. Not bad.
Yep, and I was waiting to see who would see it, and first, definitely worth that 5k gold if he even loses it at this point.
It's very, very difficult to lose it because you can now run pretty easily from a red dragon, as we just saw, with 69 agility. Nice, by the way. And he has enough defense that if he does fail to run, he can certainly take a couple of hits, even from a red dragon. Even if they have Dragon Lord Breath.
Gonna see the level 9 here. We're getting a 2, 1, 8, and a 3 with a new spell.
But she has no defense and no weapon. Doesn't matter when you have hurt more in your repertoire, but and we just saw AliGerBrap kill what could be considered a mini-boss. The green dragon in vanilla does guard the princess. So, he can now save the princess if he really wanted to. At least in vanilla.
Absolutely, because here in the randomizer, for all we know, that is a red dragon sitting in wait.
And we found an extra curse belt.
And I believe AliGerBrap just found a bamboo pole or dropped it. I could not tell which. He was scrolling through that so fast.
So, at the bottom of his inventory list was a curse belt, and he did indeed find a bamboo pole, despite it not actually being a bamboo pole. And I actually agree with his decision to cast Repel here, simply so that he can get out of here faster. Red Dragon, however, may have a different plan in mind. Except that he's dying.
Sparkover just continuing the journey east, trying to see if she can find anything of value over here.
Did he just found Erdrick's sword without actually finding Erdrick's sword? Wow, that is the most serious tease possible. Is he grinding? What's grinding here? Herbs, maybe? And now he's gonna get some more gold, solely because he can. And he may decide to go to the southwest now, finally. Somebody's going to search the southwest, maybe?
I was just thinking, wasn't there a bridge over there beside the cave and nobody chose to cross it?
I believe that is indeed true, simply because there was a lot of stuff to take here.
Sparkover finding... Sorry, go ahead, Shoops.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, Sparkover finding the golem, typically a horrific fight, but does have the flutes. Nice to find them out here in the overworld instead of guarding Catland, as it does in vanilla.
Yeah, and without the fairy flute, when you're trying to get into Catland, oh boy, it's almost impossible to kill it.
I completely agree.
And Sparkover just gained a whopping 32 hit points in one level. Oh boy, that is serious.
I don't think I've ever seen strats like this at level 10, 20 minutes in before. New experience.
Indeed. However, without armor, that much hit points just means you have to use a lot more MP to heal. And AliGerBrap's decision to actually get into Silver Shield range for gold is, in my opinion, not a bad decision right now, solely because, well, he can probably find a town with this much hit points and magic backing him up. And we have found, on Sparkover's side, Garenham, an important town.
Absolutely, a few things we can farm here. There's the chest behind the door, seeing what's in the stairway behind the hut there.
This is indeed one of the towns that you do need to check because of the cave back there. But there are 3 wonderful chests on their way. Ooh, Demon Knight's only with her. This actually makes them worth fighting. If you didn't hit for 6.
And speaking of which, Sparkover finding the vendor there opting to go with the broadsword. The large shield was also there, but did not have the gold for that. And inside, finding the harp and the token.
Harp and token, not bad finds, and we find the person that you need to turn in the silver harp to get the Staff of Rain. Also important. And I think this is Swamp Cave. I wonder what is behind, but it probably doesn't matter what is actually behind this particular cave. We're probably better off searching the map more before going to the other side. Ooh, I just saw AliGerBrap get a wonderful trip back to Tangel. Unfortunate.
Yep, and over there in chat, they've got it correct. That blue dragon was breathing fire, and that was not the baby fire.
I wasn't watching. I was painful, but I wasn't watching. And we'll now see where he goes now. And chat bringing up Golem Wings would be an interesting find. I'm sure it would be, especially considering that there is a wonderful anime out there called Gundam Wing. Imagine the puns to go with that.
Looks like AliGerBrap did look over that bridge that we were curious about earlier. Does not look like he found anything over there. In the meantime, Sparkover is on the other continent, I believe, doing some exploration.
And she indeed is, and she found both the eastern and southern side of the map, as well as the Stones of Sunlight Cave, usually in Tantagel, with the Death Necklace. By the way, this is a seed where you want to be very careful and sure that you can both get to the Dragon Lord and kill it, in case you do end up using that death necklace. Because if you happen to lose, you're probably not getting to a town.
Sparkover, finding another cave just promoted to level 11, did not look like any kind of too much of serious stats. On that one, did learn the Radiant spell.
Well, she did get a decent amount of strength on that level. And MP. Outside of MP and strength, she's pretty darn close to being able to take on the Dragon Lord.
Now back into the mountain cave, checking the Gwaelin guard spots. As we talked about in Vanilla, it's a green dragon. Today, it's a golem. Choosing to fight that golem, nope, runs away. Decides not to find the GPS for the search spot.
Oh, Sparkover actually walked all the way back to the Yarnham. Interesting. And she found Jerk Cave.
Absolutely, and with that keel, wondering if Sparkover is going to go back and pick up that large shield. I believe she just got enough gold for that, or she might have been 100 short. It might be, could be. Nope, goes to the end. Is a little short there on the gold. Over here on AliGerBrap's side, still doing the exploration. Just got his level. Now he is even again with Sparkover. Ooh, that red dragon, the fun police, not having any of that. AliGerBrap going back to the castle. Sparkover finding Charlock Castle and finding Hawksness. Looks like she is going to make her way over to the spike tile. It does contain an item. Which one? If she is able to defeat the enemy there, we will find out. Take a heal just in case. And on the spike tile is an AK-47. Typically a pretty dangerous enemy at level 11 with all this health, agility, and strength. Not so much right now. And Sparkover finding Edric's sword in the spike tile in Hawksness. Going to be a lot of stonemen in this Hawksness. Sparkover getting out of there. Over here on AliGerBrap's side, his exploration is rewarded with 2 towns very close to each other. First finding the town of Breckenary and the Motel 6. Also finding that silver shield. AliGerBrap opting for the large shield here. Wow, finds a 3rd town in the area and 2 caves. Finding key town here, the town of Remolder. Immediately going to check these 2 doors to see what's in the chest. Finding a fairy water, but this is the place if you need to buy more keys where you're going to do it. Did not look like too much in that weapon and armor for AliGerBrap as Sparkover diving back into the grave. And checking the third town. Finds Cantlin.
Oh boy, Catlin! What will we find here, I wonder? Strangely, AliGerBrap decides to go right to the keys instead of just checking the regular shops.
Interesting. Since he did find Townsville there. He found Breckenary and Remoldar and now Cantland, all within about 5 or 6 tiles of each other, and an unknown cave he has yet to explore.
So there was 3 caves and a cave all in one relatively small area? Now it looks like there is not an overworld tile, so we do not need to save a princess today. This is most likely Erdrik's cave, right?
I believe so. I think we're pretty much out of caves anyway.
So I wonder what could be here. We'll find out very shortly. And now Sparkover has her armor. And whatever it was, AliGerBrap already has it.
Absolutely. So now we know where the silver shield is. We know where the armor is. We know where the sword is.
AliGerBrap does not know where the sword is, but he'll find out shortly. Well, maybe not shortly. Sometime soon. Soon, TM. Hey, it's pretty good that AliGerBrap's defense is not repelling away all these wonderful green dragons. They are one of the easier enemies to kill when it comes to having over 100 experience. Although I am a little surprised that these worms right here are not being repelled. Does he even have repel up? I thought he put it up.
I'm not sure if the last note on that was that it had worn off or he casted it, but he has been pretty good about casting it.
Until he finds a red slime, and we both now know that he didn't have repel going. And the northern edge of the map has been found. And it does look like Sparkover is not very interested in finding out if she can get a silver shield at this point. Which, with this much agility, I'm okay with that decision.
I would agree with that. Did pick up the large shield there, so should be enough defense.
Now, to be fair, I'm almost always in agreement that silver shield is an important item to get, if you have the opportunity and knowledge of where to get it.
I believe Sparkover, was that the mountain cave she just walked back into?
She's going to check the very last chest, and we're both aware it's not very important.
Trying to think, how many search spots are we out here? We found a handful of caves lately.
So Hierophilus has commented that Cole has the stones wherever Cole may be. He may be right, but I believe AliGerBrap has not seen Charlotte Castle yet. So it's a race to find Charlotte Castle for him.
I would agree, because as soon as he finds Turlock Castle, he's going to find a town nearby, which is going to be Hawksness, where he's going to find his sword.
And he is indeed aware of how to get the Silver Shield if he decides to get it.
12, 10, 4, and 3 on that level for AliGerBrap.
These stats are well above average for this level, by far.
You are correct over there in chat. There were no coordinates today. The old man just said go forth, so we will probably not be seeing Gwaelin being rescued.
No real need for Gwaelin. Sad face. We're not going to be happy today. And it looks like Rogue Scorpions are defense locked because it only hit for 1. Oh boy. AliGerBrap finds out that red dragons, even with a ton of agility, will not allow you to run sometimes. And it looks like Sparkover has either found coal or Breckenary.
It is. It is not Breckenary. Breckenary is over there in Townville. That is a tricky little spot at the bottom of that swamp to hide a town behind.
No kidding. Especially since there's a cave on the other side that you do go into, and you still don't end up seeing a town over there. Over checking the town so that she can get a shield. I thought she had a shield. It looked like she was very close to buying it. Stones of Sunlight found. Wonderful. She does know where Charlock is, so she is actually in go mode.
Absolutely, and with this much stats, I don't know how much hesitation we're going to see just to go for that.
If there is any hesitation whatsoever, it's going to be to get that silver shield, but you probably don't need it.
Over there in chat, yes, I believe they've seen Harp Cave. I believe there was a useless item in it, if I recall.
Actually, I don't know if Sparkover knows where Jerk Cave is, so she may have a hard time. She's still searching for it. Because if she wasn't searching for it, she probably was going to end up looking for... No, wait, I'm wrong. AliGerBrap is the one that didn't find it. Sparkover, looking at her experience, she knows she's oh, I just noticed how much strength she has. She still needs one more level before she can, at least one more level before she can take on the Dragon Lord.
Although defeating golems for 255 apiece and not having too much trouble with it will get us there rather quickly.
So she has indeed now found the Jerk Cave, which means she's going to end up going into Sherlock. So that raises the question, what is she going to do? Because she does not have enough strength. Is she going to try grinding on the way down? Or is she going to find a nice little spot to do a mini-boss on? And considering there's an AK-47 here, so I question this decision. There could be better grind spots. Could. We just do not know.
I don't think I've seen a reasonable Axe Knight grind spot.
Well, AliGerBrap is taking on some green dragons, which is not a bad decision. I think he has checked here, so I'm wondering why he's checking it again. And Hierophilus, I think Swamp is in Garenham, so... Maybe? Maybe... this is a better grind spot?
I do believe when Spark hit 13, she did get a decent amount of MP, so spamming it hurt more. She is going to have a lot of those as well.
I think AliGerBrap is confused in terms of how the map looks, because he just returned to Tantagel, and he has not seen the other continent yet, or Charlock. Oh boy.
Yep, he was the first to find Townsville, but missed that opportunity to go over to the other continent.
And he's checking the southern part of Tantagel area again, which is, I'm not sure, is the greatest of ideas. Oh, I think he is in full loss mode, so this is going to be his race to lose at this rate, unfortunately.
While we were watching AliGerBrap explore, Sparkover does hit the next level, gets 5 power at that level.
And unfortunately, 5 power is not enough. Not enough. So it looks like AliGerBrap has found coal, now that he has gone around into the southern area of the map again.
That is definitely a mean tile at the bottom of that swamp. I just saw where Ali walked past it, and walking straight into areas, you just do not see it.
Yeah, no kidding. He just found Garenham for the first time, so he's checking all these tiles. Throwing away the curse belt, which is, at this point, not a bad decision. He has decided that going through Garenham is not the best decision, the swamp cave is not the best decision, which I'm not sure is the best decision.
Yeah, I would concur with you there, Shoobs. Does see the hide tile down there.
Yep. No, it's worse when that tile is more than a few squares long, by the way. Hey, Sparkover found a metal slime! First one we've seen all game. Sparkover does not know where the silver shield is, sadly. Oh, right, he's going to the cave here. That's not a bad decision. I was going to say, I wonder what he's doing.
Yep, so once he turns this in, he will be able to get the rainbow drop if he can find the cave again. And then be on the same grind over here as Sparkover. Looks like about 2,500, give or take, on that lead. Actually, more than that, I believe.
Well, in this... I was just about to say, please don't cast return. Anyways, as I was trying to say, he has not yet found the Jerk Cave even once yet. But if he keeps going right here, he will. Ali has not been to Oxness yet. Ali is now going through the swamp cave. Again, not a terribly bad decision, and WoW is outside a late spell to learn. And the Dragon Lord is now killable. Wonderful. So, this is unfortunate for AliGerBrap because Sparkover can now go for the Dragon Lord. Look at that strength and that MP. There is very little chance. Oh my goodness, and that agility. There is nearly no chance of her not getting to the Dragon Lord and winning on this dive here. She could, but she has more than enough agility to get away from a blue dragon before it gets the chance to do sleeping and wrecking. And we just found out that there are indeed blue dragons here on the first floor of Charlotte Castle.
And oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chiefs.
I think Sparkover is not aware that blue dragons can cast sleep because she's just straight running instead of trying to use stop spell.
And was actually on top of that blue dragon. I do believe they had DL2, so a definite dangerous combination there if you get a bad roll.
Ooh, Stoneman can still do a decent amount of damage. Yeah, Sparkover is not even trying to kill Axe Knights, who are defense broken at this point.
Over here on your left, AliGerBrap finding the Jerk Cave, going to get his rainbow drop.
Finally. Wow, it took forever. And he has finally found Hawk's Nest.
Sparkover on the final floor over here on her way to the Dragon Lord has one more spike tile to contend with.
And Green Dragon is deciding to be a little bit rough. Unfortunately, they are the weakest dragon. RNG has decided that it is not Sparkover's friend today.
AliGerBrap easily defeating that Arbor Knight, searching the ground, finding his Edric's sword.
Oh, this is a familiar enemy on a spike tile.
AliGerBrap over here on the left, looking at his stats, realizing that his strength is not going to be quite enough. Looks like he's going on to the Axe Knight AK-47 grind. Not Axe Knight, Arbor Knight, my apologies.
They have an axe. DL1 seems to be a little bit of a pain, deciding to use a bunch of hurt wars, but Sparkover has almost killed it, unfortunately. Going into DL2, she is not ambushed. So, unless she mismenus here, she has a very, very low chance of losing.
Looking like some nice rolls on these attacks.
Yeah, but I'm seeing like almost nothing different than a 13. And there's a 10.
Chat over there counting for us looks to be just over that 100 range of damage. The Dragon Lord having, I believe, 155 to 165 range.
So, to wrap up this wonderful seed, there was a lot of things to hurt more in the very beginning because we started out with hurt more. And while AliGerBrap did get in a strong advantage in experience early on, unfortunately, he did not find the important towns first. So, Sparkover, getting lucky and grinding early, has pretty much won this seed. And we have the final hit and the final heal more on Sparkover's side. So, Sparkover has won. And just a few feet away from saying getting to talk to the king.
Seeing all those GGs in chat, looks like we are going to be sub-hour.
And she had decided not to take the king's crown and will wander off somewhere else. But this is indeed good bit GG here.
Looks like that time down there was 56:15 for Sparkover.
That is quite honestly an absurdly fast time considering Randomizer. So she has to feel pretty good here.
Absolutely. Over here on AliGerBrap, continuing the AK-47 grind, needs that level 15 before that dive happens.
So, hey, this, I believe, is Sparkover. Hello, Sparkover. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How's it going over here?
Pretty darn good. So, how do you feel about the seed?
That was pretty darn fast. I wasn't paying super close attention as we were going through the seed, but I really felt like our stats were growing super quickly. I was actually a little surprised that we weren't ready to fight by the time I found everything, but it was good. It was good.
It was indeed good. AliGerBrap had a very, very hard time finding coal as well as Garanham. So that's what caused his particular delay here, because he was actually ahead of you for a bit.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely felt like my beginning was a little bit weak. I went outside, found a wizard, went outside and found a metal scorpion. It killed me right away, and then I lost my mountain cave, but no, it was good.
Yeah, it was indeed a good seed, and you did definitely show off having a lot more knowledge. However, AliGerBrap did indeed find the silver shield.
Ooh.
I'm not sure where exactly it was compared to the beginning, but neither one of you actually got one.
Honestly, I never saw a town that had the silver shield, and by the time that in theory I might have thought to search for, I was all done with all the caves already. So I even though it would have been really easy to set one up just at home, I just didn't really think about it. By the time I had found everything, I'm like, well, I should probably buy a large shield.
Yeah. And large shields, as we all know, are a pretty good bargain, doing half the defense for like a 20th of the gold.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And Sparkover, correct me if I'm wrong, you did not find Townville, did you? Because Breckenary, Remoldar, and Cantlin were all within about 5 tiles of each other. And chat over there is correct. Breckenary did have the silver shield.
No, I never did find those 3 or the tablet cave. Those were all missing, and just by the time I found the stones, where were those again? I don't remember, but wherever I found them, I was done looking for stuff after that. Oh wait, they were in coal.
Yep.
Yes, I believe it was the northeast corner that had all 3 of those towns and the Edric Cave, like I said, all within 5 steps of each other.
Yeah, I never quite made it over there. I had journeyed over there once and then died, and then I just took a different way. Oh gosh! And when I found that swamp cave and I found the death necklace, I was so happy. I was convinced that I was going to need to use the death necklace, honestly, but the HP just never quite got there.
Yeah, as I was saying, with the death necklace, if you had happened to have used it and died, well, there's zero chance of you getting anywhere.
Yeah, that too. Considering that I had no idea where Breckenry was, that really wouldn't have been a good idea. But you know.
And thank you to Hyra Fellows correcting me there. It was the northwest edge for the townville in the cave, not the northeast.
Okay. Either way, I never quite made it too far north, honestly. Like, from my little mapping here, everything seemed relatively parallel.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to map myself, but yeah.
While we've been talking, AliGerBrap has made his dive down to the Dragon Lord level, just has that spike tile to contend with before making his run at Dragon Lord.
Yeah, level 15 and 100 agility, there's really not much of a chance of particularly losing here. So, without the Silver Shield, it's not really all that bad.
Absolutely, and here we go. Gonna take one herb for the road.
In your opinion, Sparkover, was there a particular reason to be afraid of that starting swamp?
Not really. I mean, because we had hurt more, how it turned out, my first thing that I ended up hurt mooring was a ghost, which is pretty weak because it doesn't even give you a level, but I'm like, you know what? I can just stomp my way through the swamp, send myself back to start, and just reset all I need to, just because I had a little bit of unluckiness trying to find a proper enemy to get me really going, so I just did it, and it worked.
So, that particular luck was this, pretty bad, especially considering AliGerBrap found a metal scorpion and hurt-moored it within like the first 30 seconds.
Ooh. And I mean, anyone who knows me also really knows that I can enjoy a good swamp seed, so, it was a little disappointing that we were able to get out of there right away.
And for the record, Sparkover, AliGerBrap also found the armor within probably the first 10 minutes, probably less.
Very nice, yeah.
Ahead.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Yeah, when I had, because, I'd gotten to the mountain cave not too far away from that. I had gotten the key and I did see the grave, but I was just thinking, I don't know, I'm a little under level to want to go in there, so I just figured I would save the grave for a time when I died and went to the back, and, that could have hurt me a little more than it did, but it was good.
It could have, but as I said, the fact that you did not need to find those towns in the northwest made a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
As we keep going here, AliGerBrap engaged with DL2 has not had a few good rolls, seen a few single digits popping up for him. Just going to make that fight last longer, but he should not be in any real trouble here.
Even if he did get a whole bunch of very low physical attacks, he really should not lose here. He had more than enough MP going into this.
And thank you now seeing those stats down there on DL2. And there we go. Dragon Lord 2 going down for AliGerBrap, finding the ball of light. Get those GGs in the chat for AliGerBrap.
And in this case, the balls were not inert, so we have a wonderful seed between you two. And hopefully everything goes well in the future there, Sparkover. It looks like you are 1-1. Who was your first race against?
I'm trying to remember, and my memory is so bad. I'm sorry, whoever that was. I know. Oh, Veluv.
Oh, Veluv?
Yeah,
Okay.
Veluv was my first one, and then I lost to Guy last week.
Okay. Wait, Veluv, it's showing you as 1-1, so did you win against Veluv?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I should be,
Oh.
I should be 2-1 now.
Yes, you should.
Doesn't matter quite as much when we're in the bracket stages, but...
Yeah, I don't think it got updated after your win today. I believe when you started the seed and the run today, it already showed you at 1-1.
And that was accurate.
Gotcha. So AliGerBrap is the one that didn't get a third race yet. Hey there, AliGerBrap. Welcome.
Hi, hello. That was a quick seed.
Zoomies.
One, yes. Hey there, AliGerBrap. Welcome.
Well, there's a couple things I knew I was lost because I didn't go to the places where it was required, though. Like just going like that, where everything was like Sherlock and not Cantlin, but Gavin Ham was there, Turkey was there, and like I remember going to Staff of Rain, remembering that, but I don't remember like thinking, hey, maybe there might be something further east, and like I didn't check until like I checked like probably 2-3 times north there.
Yeah, AliGerBrap, you were actually ahead for a significant portion until you had difficulty searching.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because I thought like having the early key, and like just knowing that you had like knowing where everything was at the end, you just knew that like having that key that led to armor super early and like gold that was not really helpful because I couldn't find the town early, so that was another thing that wasn't fun. But like, and after that it was just finding those places that you haven't found, and like it took me probably 20 minutes, and like this seed you might have like had 5 or 10 that you could give.
You definitely had a lot of ability here to contend with Sparkover, who is a pretty strong contender in general. So, good job.
I wonder, did Sparkover go to 14 or 15?
Both of you decided to do 15.
Yeah, I figured that 14 was like with like a Silver Shield, maybe it was possible with like Feywater, since Kenton wasn't that far away. It could have been done, but yeah, it was really hard to do it there.
He did not find Cantlin.
I never found a spot where I could purchase fairy water, actually, so Townsville was lost on me.
Oh, yeah, because I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So like you just found everything and just went. That helps.
Indeed. However, I believe that we have a wonderful race here, and I think unless you guys have some closing comments, which I'll allow you to do right now.
Yeah, that was a fun tournament. You know what? It's a bit. I'm disappointed that I couldn't win one match, but hey, it is what it is. I face some tough competition, and like, hey, like you have to play your best and hope for the best. And like, hey, it didn't work out this time, but like, you know what? I was happy with how I played today. It's just like it just didn't happen. Thanks for the organizers, and you know what? You probably will see me behind the scenes tracking some races later.
That'll be awesome. And Sparkover, any closing comments?
Yeah, just again, thank you so very much to the commentary and the restream and the tracking. Always appreciate that, and I look forward to the next match. GG, Ali, nice to play with you, and that's probably all I've got. Thank you so much, everybody. always a lovely thing to be in these tournaments and have the community come out and show all the support. So you're all great.
Thank you very much, Sparkover. And it was definitely good being a commentary person for your stream. Any closing comments, Moonlight?
Nothing really from me. Again, just a really fun race to watch. Really fun watching the stats and everything stack up and not find any towns for forever. So definitely been a while since I've seen a town hunt, and definitely a while since seeing stats like this at such a low level. Great race to watch. Good race runners.
And with that, I hope everyone does have a wonderful evening. And this has been Randomizer, the first one of the night, and there will be a second one very shortly at 8:30 on Speed Gaming, I believe number 1, I'm not sure. So, you'll get to see a second race, guys! And with that, have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.